Hi and welcome to TRX Bench. Today here in the lab Kenwood TM-D700 and have a look what we have. At least nothing. So this radio won't fire up, and do we know a kind of fault? Well, remember our last Kenwood repairs, we had a very similar thing, and therefore you have an idea where to start? Think about it. Yes, exactly, and as we had it already in video 95, where we had a very similar problem with Kenwood TM-700. There we had problems with reset switch or with reset IC, and here in the TM-D700 here we have exactly the same reset IC, or this combination of reset IC and power regulator. So that is our well-known L78LR05, which is a 5 volt or 6 volt voltage regulator. And on the other hand, we have our CPU reset function built in. So that is exactly the same reset IC we had in video 95, and therefore let's start right there and let's check if this might be the same problem. And of course, therefore, we have to take our display unit apart, and that will be really the first I have or will do. So let's open it up and then I will be back. Yeah, and the back cover is off, and we have this insulation piece here, which we can put away, and already right there, here is our reset IC, this guy here, so very well known from our video 95, and therefore we do exactly the same testing. So we want to see if we have at pin 1 our input voltage, and at pin 2 we have our delay capacitor switch to it. At pin 4 we have our reset function, and pin 5 is our 5 volt, I believe 5 volt power supply line. So that is a regulator function. Yeah, so let's right go into the testing. Alright, so everything is connected here to our reset IC, and as we have discussed it in the earlier video, we know that we want to see our reset pulse delayed, and that is what we gonna test. And well, if we do the test right with our scope, then we can determine all together. So that means we see if the voltage is there, and we see if our regulated 5 volt is present, and if our reset pulse will be present. So therefore, when I now plug the radio to the power supply, just in that moment our voltage or our power will come up here in our radio as well, and we will then see our rising 5 volt on our scope. And secondly, we want to see 100 milliseconds later, we want to see that then pin 4 is rising to approximately 5 volt as well. And if that is the case, then we know everything is fine. Alright, so our scope is prepared, and it is waiting for a single event, and therefore now I'm gonna plug the power supply to the radio, and let's see what we gonna see. Alright, and here is what we have, and it really looks pretty nice. So okay, so this here is our 5 volt, so it is set to 5 volt per division, so that means what we can see here is really 5 volt, and what we can see here in the moment when I plug my power supply, then you see here our upcoming 5 volt, so that is the pin 5, that is the regulator output, and that is fine. And secondly, this here is our reset line, and you see here in this direction one division is 50 milliseconds, so that means 2 is 100 milliseconds, and you see we have this here as our reset pulse, and this processor needs a negative pulse, and then you see after 500 milliseconds, so after our upcoming voltage, then our processor gets out of the reset function, and that means yeah, everything is fine, and our IC 78 LR05 is working fine in 2 regards, in voltage supply function and in reset function. So our fault is somewhere different. Yeah, and that is how it goes. So we thought, that is something known, and therefore that will be an easy fix, and no, it is not. So this IC is working just fine, and we have to go ahead, and yeah, we need to try and figure out where our problem is. Okay, and finally it is always the same game. What we need to see is if there is traffic on our serial data bus. So as we know from our earlier repairs, our serial data bus is in both directions, so we have a transmit line and a receive line, if you like, and well, we need to see, yeah, maybe we can see it here. So we have 4 pins here, and the first pin is plus, the second is ground, and then the 2 other bows here are the serial data bus for TX and RX. And yeah, well, that is what we need to figure out right now. I'm interested if I can see any traffic here on our bus, and therefore let me go here back to the scope, and we gonna check it out. Okay, so let me try if I can get contact here. So our first serial line, and first of all we see we have a high, and the high is approximately yeah, 5 volt, so one division is 2 volt, as you can see in the left down corner. And well, let me try to fire the radio up with the power button. And oh yeah, there was a signal, but it was too short, so therefore let me set it to the other trigger mode, and let me try it again. And yeah, so that is present. So what you can see here, this is the data transfer in or out, so I don't right now, but that is not so much important. Now I go on to the second pin, so our second data line, and of course I have to bring it here back to normal. Let me see what we can do so far. Alright, here we are. So this is now back to normal. I'm now on the second line, and what you see is, and that is already not good, so you see just a low voltage, so that is almost nothing. I go back on our first, and you see there, without any traffic, we have full 5 volt. 2.5 division means in this case 5 volt. And now the second line, and you see, yeah, it is almost nothing. You can see that it is moving just a little bit, so the voltage is far too low. And even if I go now to my normal trigger mode, and when I now try to fire it up, and you see nothing at all, so there is at least no traffic. No, that is because I'm here not 100% stable with my probe, so that is definitely nothing. Let me try it once again this way here, and what you see here, yeah, suddenly it goes up to plus, but there is no traffic, and that is funny compared here to our first pin. So that is the first pin, and you can directly see that something is going on. Let me switch over here, and you see directly there is traffic. So that reminds me once again to our earlier repair. So I guess we have to open up our main unit, and maybe that there is something wrong with the connection. So unit is apart, and yeah, when we flip it over here, so we have here our Western jacks, and well, what we can see down here on the board, if we look very carefully, we see that somebody has already tried to reflow it. So yeah, that is obvious. And well, maybe that somebody expected to have here a loose connection or a dry solder point or such, and yeah, we need to find out what's going on here. Well, and even that somebody obviously tried to reflow it over there, this solder joints do not really look very promising, so I'm not sure if we have after all still a problem here with this solder joint. So I think I should clean it up, and I should try to resolder it, and then we should go ahead. Or maybe I do a test with a wire and with a connector first to see if I can find out what's going on here. Okay, so let's play here a little bit. And hello? Hello, what's going on here? So, and it's going back off. So, you know, that is something I expected, that here must be something wrong. So it really can be that it is the solder points we have seen before, or it is the Western connector itself, or maybe here our wire. So that is now not so easy to for the moment in time. I believe that it seems to be something here with our wiring, or with, yeah, now tone is gone, and as we've seen it before, yeah, and then it is switching off. So, and then it is coming back. So I think, yeah, I think the first I wanna do is I cut this here off, this connector, and maybe I sacrifice yeah, a bit of this cable here, and I put a new, what is it? It is a 4. I have to check if I have a new one on stock, and if I really should put a new one on, because I have somehow the strange feeling that there is something wrong here with our connector somehow. Okay, so let's simply try it. I have the same size here once again. I mean, also the Kenwood version is a little bit special, because we see we have only 4 contact pins, and this size normally have 6 pins, and but other than that it is exactly the same size. So therefore I simply do not use the inner and the outer, or the left and the right contact pin. So I only use the inner 4 pins, and then normally it should work. And beside that, if we check here our, let me see, if you can see it. So if we watch here the used connector, let me see if it is better with some light, you simply see this is a 6 one. So this is a 6 contact female version. So therefore if we take my contact here, my male jack here with 6 connectors or 6 contacts, that should finally work. So yeah, let's simply try and see if this is the reason for our problem. Okay, so shall we go for it? That is risky, I know, because if we don't get the new one on, we really have a problem. But anyways, you can't win if you do not try. So let's try. Done. Okay, so we are ready for crimping this cable here, and let's see if that then will work. Okay. Alright, so our new cable or our new connector is ready. So let's try what we have. So we need to be a little bit carefully that we do not produce any shorts here, but okay, let's see. Aha! Great! Let's see. Hey, that is really nice. So I believe the problem really was our Western jack. And now, yeah, as you can see, great. It really is working. I mean, we do not really know right now, so that is here. Let me do it a little bit down here. Well, we do not know if it was the connector itself, or that there is really a broken wire inside. So that is really something I don't know, but well, it really looks like that that was a problem. So now I really can, you know, move it and wiggle it around, and you see it is stable, and that is telling me that it really was only, yeah, whatever, wire or the connector, whatever, but anyways, it is working, and now, as you can see, I really can do almost everything I like here to the board and to the connector, so it is simply working. Great, I love it. Okay, so what I gonna do right now, I just wanna reflow here our solder joints. Let me be careful. I do not want to have here a short. So what I gonna do right now is I reflow it here, and I clean it a little bit. then this is fine as well. And then let's do our final check, and I believe this radio can go back into service. So okay, the board is clean right now, and everything is fine, so we can now bring it all back in the right order. Alright, and all is back together, and let's try. So it is already connected with the power supply, and here we go! Everything is fine. Very good. Very good. So we can put in our squelch, and that is working. Very nice. Okay. So you may already wonder why I have not tested the wire. I haven't done it on camera, because yeah, that was my first check, and what I can say, tested with our ohm meter, the resistance was just fine, so the wire really had continuity on all 4 pins without any problems. So yeah, you see, even if you think the cable is good and you do not have a problem, you have a problem. That is really funny. And well, so what can we do, or what can we say else? This is a proof that any fault is different, and so as here, so I first really thought there is something again here with our reset IC, but it is not. So therefore, very interesting, everything is different. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope that was interesting, and you see that sometimes you really can go into the wrong direction, but finally we will catch the fault. Okay, thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please give me a big thumb up, and catch you next time. Bye!